How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Nun Ches, Daf 58 of Masechta BavaMetzia. Friends. Yo, friends. We're almost halfway through BavaMetzia. This is amazing. This is a huge accomplishment. BavaMetzia has been not easy. We're about to start Ezu Neshech. I haven't started it yet, but I'll tell you, I'm nervous. Anyways, where are we? Okay, so we're wrapping up this Mishnah. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And this daf, I think I'm just going to get up to Nun Ches Amud Beis at the Mishnah. And then I think I'm going to stop there. And because, I got to sneeze 1 second. Because tomorrow we'll start with the new Mishnah, and tomorrow's daf is going to be Geshmak. It's just like, tomorrow's daf is basically just a Gadata, so it's all kind of like similar, so we'll just do it all together. It's not hard at all. It's extremely awesome. So we'll just, instead of dividing it up, we'll just do it all tomorrow. So today's like harder, it's more Gemara. Tomorrow is just very, very awesome Agadata. So we'll do the hard Gemara today and the Agadata tomorrow. How does that sound? Alright, so let's start in Daf Nun Zayin Amud Beis all the way at the bottom. 2 lines to the bottom. Shomachinam in Onishba v'chulei. So we said that Shomachinam would not have to swear, right now. Normally a Shomachinam for Gneva v'Aveda, he does not need to pay, but he has to swear that it in fact got stolen or lost, and that he wasn't posheh. So, but we said that there are 4 things. There's Karka, Avodim, Shtaris, and Hekdeshos, where there wouldn't be any, where we wouldn't even have to swear. So now 1 second. For a minute, we have a contradiction. Pnei ha'ir sheshalchu es shiklein v'nignevu o she'avdu im shenisu ma'atrume nishboyin lagizborin v'im lav nishboyin livnei ha'ir uvnei ha'ir shoklin acherim tachtein nimtzo shechzir maganovim elu ve'elu shkolim eim ve'ein on loim neshana habua. Ooh, wow. Cheva, where's this from? Who can tell me where this is from? From Masechta Shkolim. That was a difficult Masechta. Do you think that Masechta Shkolim is the hardest Masechta in Shas? What do you think? Is that like an unpopular opinion? The thing with Shkolim is it's just too short. You can't have the hardest Masechta in Shas that's like 20 daf. It's also like the shortest Masechta in Shas. But Shkolim was like nearly impossible. Way harder than BavaMetzia. Well, in a different way. The thing with BavaMetzia and Bava Kama, we haven't gotten to BavaMetzia yet, but it's like it's sustained difficulty. So you gotta push. Shkolim was just ridiculous, but it ended after a few weeks. But it was insane. Anyways, there's a Mishnah in Shkolim, and so we had said in our Mishnah that by Hekdish, a Shomer Chinam does not need to swear if it gets stolen or lost. By Hekdish, a Shomer Chinam does not need to swear. But here we're talking about the Machzis HaShekels, that if the people, oh man, I got a yawn, sneezing, yawning. What's going to be next? Anyways, so where are we? Where are we? What are we talking about? Where am I? What am I doing with my life? Right. Machzis HaShekel. So you have all the people in the town, and they pool together their half shekels to bring to the Beis Hamikdash. And now those half shekels would be used essentially to buy the korbanos tzibur. And they sent it with a messenger, with a guy. So for a minute we have a contradiction. So if you have the people of the city that they sent their shekels, the machzis shekels, v'nignevu, and then on the way, v'nignevu o she'avdu, the machzis shekels, this guy had all sack of half shekels from the people, they got stolen or lost. Im mishenisuma atruma, if the initial truma was already separated, right, because if I understand correctly, basically what would happen is in Utter, they would collect the half shekels, and they would bring it to Yerushalayim, and they would put it in these like shofaros, into these, I don't know, containers, I guess, of sorts, in the by the Beis HaMikdash, I guess. And then, before Pesach, before Shavuos, and before Sukkot, they would empty these shofaros out into the lishka, into some office that they had there. And then from there, they would like divide it up into these like 3 chests, and from those chests, they would take this money and use it to buy offerings. So that was called Trumas Halishka, when they would go to this office and collect the coins and put them into these chests, and then they would have the money to be used to pay for the Korbanos Tzibur. So if they had already done the Trumas Halishka when they had gotten lost, so Rashi says, if when they came to a court to kind of sort out this whole mess, so there was already the Truma Salishka, that they would divide up the coins in the office into these 3 kupas, okay. So again, at the very end of Nzayin Beis, so if when they came to Bezdin to try to sort out this mess with this messenger who lost their coins, or they got stolen, Nishbayin ligizbarin. So then the shaliach needs to swear to the gizbar, to the treasury, that he's telling the truth and that they really got stolen or they got lost and he didn't take them for himself. Because at that point, right, when they would separate the truma, right? Because when they would separate the truma salishka, they would even have in mind, what do they have in mind for? If you look at the first Rashi on the page, on the 3rd line of the first Rashi, it says, Tor min ala avud, that they would, when they would separate the truma salishka, they would even have in mind truma, right, for shekels that had gotten lost. That they would be included. So if when they came to Bezdin, there was already the Truma Salishka had already been separated. So then Memele, they had in mind for any coins that had gotten lost. So the people don't need to replace the coins. They were already included in the Truma Salishka. And therefore, we're saying that the Shaliach then doesn't need to swear to the people, because the people, they're Yotze, because right, when the Truma Salishka was separated, they also had in mind the coins that had gotten lost. So they're taken care of. They don't need to do anything more. But somebody's losing here. Who's losing? The treasury is losing out, because the treasury is now, we're saying that the people are Yotze. They don't have to replace those shekels. So who loses out? The temple treasury loses out. So the Shaliach needs to swear to the temple treasury that he's telling the truth, that they did in fact get stolen or lost. But if the Truma Salishka had not yet been taken, well then they have to replace them. Meaning if they're going to din and they're already aware of the fact that they had gotten lost and the Truma, it was prior to the Truma Salishka, so then they need to provide new coins for the Truma Salishka. And so then the Shaliach needs to swear to the people, because they need to now replace the coins. So he needs to swear that they in fact did get stolen or lost and they didn't take them for himself. And then if the Truma Salishka had not yet been separated, so then the people of the city now need to find replacements, replacement half shekels. Nimtzu, and then if the original coins were found, if they had gotten lost, they were then found. Or shechzir maganovim elu aganovim, or the thieves returned them. Elu va'elu shoklin shkalim heim. Well, both the original coins that were found or returned, as well as the replacement coins that the people of the city collected. Shkalim, they are both considered shekels and hektish, and they go to the Beis HaMikdash. Vein odin loim l'shana haba, and you can't say, well, okay, we separated 2, machzis a shekel twice, so we already separated for next year already. Next year we don't need to separate. No, right? It says ve'ein odin lo in l'shana haba. They don't work for next year. This year you ended up separating two half shekels, and that's that. So the shaila is, who could tell me what the shaila is? The shaila is, who could tell me what the shaila is? The shaila is, in our Mishnah we had said that there's no shvua for a shomer chinam when it comes to hektish, and over here we're saying that the shaliach needs to swear that it in fact got stolen or lost. I thought that there is no shvua by hektish. Interesting that we're saying that be'etzim, it sounds like, I think what we're saying is that be'etzim a shaliach is considered like a shomer chinam, which is interesting, right? I guess if you appoint, if you make somebody a messenger to do something for you, and you entrust him with something, so I guess he's a shaliach. Yeah, he's a shomer chinam, I guess, sounds like. And we're saying, so, if he's like a shomer chinam, why would he have to swear since it's hektish? I thought there's no swearing when it comes to hektish. Where am I? Amar Shmuel says, Shmuel, Hacha benose socher askinon. Well, here we're talking about where he wasn't a shomer chinam. He was being paid. He was a paid messenger. The people of the town collected their half shekels, and then they paid this guy to schlep him to Yerushalayim. So he's a shomer socher. V'nishbayin litol scharon. And what are we swearing about? Because we said, after all, shomer socher, also, by hektish, he doesn't need to pay. He's off the hook for Gneva Va'aveda. Normally we would have to pay, but not here. By hektish. So what's he swearing about? He's swearing so that he can get paid. That's what he's swearing about. Right? He's not that he's swearing so that he can get off the hook for paying, meaning to have to replace the shekels. No, he's saying, look, I know that they got lost or stolen, but this, I still want to get paid. So he was swearing that it in fact got stolen or lost, so that he can then send them an invoice. But then why does it say that if the Truma Salishka was already separated, so then the Shaliach swears to the Gizbar, Why are they swearing? Why is he swearing to the treasury? He should be swearing to the people, because now the people need to pay him. So Amar Rabba says, Rabba Nishboyin Livnei Ha'ir b'maimod Gizbarin. No, what happens is that they swear to the people, right? The Shaliach swears to the people so that they can get paid, so that the Shaliach can get paid. And the treasury, the temple treasury, is also there when the Shaliach swears to the people, so that the treasury should not suspect this messenger of keeping it for himself. Vinami, alternatively, so that they shouldn't call the messenger negligent. So therefore, the shomer, so he's getting paid for his shlichus, and therefore he wants to get paid. So he's swearing to the people that in fact it got stolen or lost, and the treasury is also there so that they shouldn't think, that he's a poshea, that he's a negligent fellow. So he swears that in fact he's not negligent and it got stolen or lost. But one second, we're saying that what happened to these coins? They got stolen, they got lost. Now, in general, a shomer sacher would be chayev for gneva va'aveda. This is the kind of thing that he's responsible for. That it's not okay if it gets stolen or lost. V'hacha, skip the next word. Nihid shalume lo mishalme. Okay, so granted, we're saying that because it's hektish, so he's not going to have to pay. But agrayu miya lafse, but he shouldn't be able to claim his money. Meaning, a shomer sacher is chayev for gneva va'aveda. Sure, in this case, he doesn't need to pay because it's hektish, but he can't, why should we have to pay him though? He had one job to do. Make sure that these things don't get stolen or lost or anything, just deliver them. He failed on that promise. Why should he get paid? Sure, he's not on the hook to have to pay for it because it's hektish, but why does he deserve to get paid? He failed. Amar Rabba says, Rabba nignevu b'liste mezuyin avdu shetovas vinoso bayom. Well, when it's talking about nigniv, right, that it got stolen, it didn't just stam get stolen, it got stolen at gunpoint. Or if it got lost because the ship, I guess he was traveling in a ship or whatever, and again the ship sunk. Meaning, so we're talking about ones. We're talking about things that were unpredictable, beyond his control, and that's why if an ones happens, so he's still entitled to get paid. Rabbi Yechanan Amar says, Rabbi Yechanan Hamani Reb Shimoni the Amar Kachim Shechayev B'Achrayuson Yeshloen Onaa V'Nishboin Alev. Says Rabbi Yochanan that when we say that he has to swear, so that's specifically the opinion of Reb Shimon. Again, Rabbi Yochanan Amar Amani Reb Shimoni, it's Reb Shimon the Amar who says Kachim Shechayev B'Achrayuson, that Kachim, right, for example, a neder that you say, I'm going to bring a korban, so even if something happens to this korban, you have to bring a different one. So a kachim that you're responsible for it, if anything happens to it. So yeshloi no. So there is ona by kachim shechai b'achrayuson. V'nishboin aleim, and you'd also swear about them. So atena chat shalon nisuma truma. Okay, so this makes sense. If the trumas halishka had not yet been separated, and therefore the people would have to still replace the original coins. So it's kachim shechai b'achrayuson, and I understand why you would have to swear. But means shenisur ma'atruma. But if this is taking place after the trumas halishka, well then kachim she'enu chai b'achrayuson ninu. Well then it would be kachim that he's not chayav b'achrayus after the trumas halishka. Right after the trumas halishka, we said that when they separated the trumas halishka, they even had in mind coins that were lost. The tani tormin ala avud v'ala gaboy v'ala osa legabis. That they have in mind when they separate the Trumas Halishka, that it counts as well for any coins that had gotten lost, or that were collected and needed to be delivered, or that were going to be collected in the future. Any of those coins would be included in the Trumas Halishka. So if the Trumas Halishka was already separated when they were going to Bezdin, so then they wouldn't have to replace them. So then it would be Kachim She'enu Chai B'Achrayuson. In which case, why would he have to swear? Amar Belazar says, or Belazar shvuazo takonas chachamimi shlo yu bnei adam mezalzin be'hekdeshos. Well, even though yes, the Mishnah says that by hekdesh there's no shvua, but still we're saying midirabanon, you should still swear, just so that people won't take hekdeshos lightly, and they will so they shouldn't take the hekdeshos lightly. So this shvua is a shvua derabanan, even if midaraisa a shvua would not be necessary by kodshim. Okay, and then the Mishnah said no say sacher and a mishalim. So that a shomer sacher by kodshim would not have to pay for gneva va'aveda, even though normally a shomer sacher would pay for gneva va'aveda, not here by kodshim. Romile Rav Yosef bar Choma l'Rabba. Yosef bar Choma asked to Rabba Tnan. We learn in the Mishnah, no say sacher, eino mishalim. So we learn in our Mishnah that a shomer sacher would not pay by kodshim. But we have a contradiction. Hasocher sapoyel, somebody who hires a worker, lishmor es apare, to guard a para aduma, to make sure that it doesn't do any work, or that it doesn't get a mum or anything like that. Lishmor satinok, or this is interesting. This refers back to what we learned in Masechta Sukkah, I think quoting from Mishnah from Masechta Parah, about these young boys that they would keep in entirely in states of purity, and they would be part of the process of making the Ephah Paraduma. Lishmar Sazroim, or to guard like the barley for the Omer. So if they were hired, if they were day workers, well then you wouldn't hire them for Shabbos and pay them for Shabbos, because we wouldn't hire somebody to work on Shabbos. And therefore they're not responsible for Shabbos. But if he was hired for a week rather than each day, but in bulk, like a lump sum for the whole week, or a lump sum for the whole month, a salary for the month, schir shana, or a salary for the whole year, schir shavua, or for 7 years, a chunk of 7 years. So in that case, where you're paying kind of in one lump sum, Nosn lo schar Shabbos. So then, Nosn lo schar Shabbos. So then you would get, you wouldn't have to like take out money specifically for Shabbos. No, you'd pay a lump sum, and then it includes Shabbos as well. Lefichach achrayis Shabbos olav, and therefore, responsibility for Shabbos. He's responsible for what happens on Shabbos as well. My love, l'shalim. And what does this mean? Mistama, it means to have to pay. Which means that even by Kodshim, we're saying that he would have to pay for Gneva Vaveda. So we say, no, lahafsid schar. It means that to lose out on his payment. So not to have to pay, but he wouldn't get paid if something happened to it. Okay, if that's the case, Reisha de Katoni ein achrayis Shabbos olav. But then when it says in the Reisha that if he's a day worker, then he's not responsible for Shabbos. So ochinami de lafsid scharo. What does it mean? That he's meaning he's not going to get paid. He's not getting paid anyways on Shabbos. Mislei schar Shabbos v'katoni ein nosen lo schar Shabbos. But I thought that we said that he's not getting paid on Shabbos anyways, right? So what does it mean that he would? The people are here. So what does it mean then that he would not? That he would then he would be chayiv for Shabbos. It can't be that he's not going to get paid. He wasn't going to be getting paid anyways. Who's here? I don't know. I don't know yet. Maybe we'll find out at some point. I don't know. What's it? I don't know. Yo, who's here? I don't know. Maybe they can't get in. Whatever. Enos noscha Shabbos. So ishtik. No, so therefore it was a good kasha, right? Because, I don't understand. On the one hand, we said in our Mishnah that by Kodshim he's not going to be chayiv to pay, right? On the other hand, so then what's the deal by saying that he would be chayiv if something happens, right? Chayiv what? He can't be chayiv to pay. We said not to pay. So we're saying chayiv that he's not going to get paid. But how can it be that he's not going to get paid? Because then that means also in the ratio that means that he's not going to get paid. Ah, that was you? I thought you said you were going to be quiet. You were so loud. I thought for sure it was the other people because you said you weren't going to make noise. Alright. Anyways, what are we saying? So it can't be that that he's not that means that it's chayiv that he's not going to get paid. Because then in the ratio, when we say that he's not chayiv, so then what does that mean? He wasn't getting paid anyways. So rather it must mean that it's talking about to pay, right? So where am I? So Shabbos ishtik amalei midishmilach ba. So he said. So Rabbah says to Rav Yosef Bar Chama. Rav Yosef Bar Chama, I think, is Rav Yosef. It's talking about where he made a kinyan. Rav Yochanan also says where he made a kinyan. Wow, my brain is just like I think my brain is officially in a constant state of mush. That's not so good. But anyways, so here's the thing. So it is talking about paying. Okay, so it is talking about paying, right? So we're saying in the Reisha that we're talking about, so in the Reisha, right, we're saying that if he's getting paid by the day, so obviously he wouldn't be getting paid for Shabbos, and he wouldn't be chayiv for Shabbos, and we're talking about he wouldn't be chayiv to pay. Now, if, he's getting paid for the whole year or whatever, so then he would be chayiv to pay. The question is, why would he be chayiv to pay when it comes to kachim? I thought a shomer socher is not chayiv to pay for kachim. Things that he made a kinyan. He made a kinyan. Interesting. I guess that he said, I'm even going to, even though it's kachim, if something happens to it, I'm still going to be responsible to pay. And it's interesting. I mean, we're talking about so many different types of kinyanim these days. It's interesting to think about this kind of a kinyan as well, right? What does mean b'shakanu miyado? I'm still trying to figure out what's the deal with selling chametz. Because when I sell my chametz, I saw my chametz the other day, right? So when I picked up that guy's handkerchief, and so I didn't actually sell my chametz right then and there because I still own my chametz until Pesach starts. So maybe what it did was I make him my shaliach, and what I did by making a kinyan was I made it official. I said, this is official. I'm making you my shaliach in order to sell my chametz. So I think that's kind of what's going on over here. They made a kinyan. What kind of a kinyan? I don't know, maybe a kinyan sudar, right? Maybe he said, yes, I'm going to be responsible for paying for if anything happens to it. And he took a handkerchief and he picked it up, and then and that was in B'Shakar Miyado. He made a kinyan on it and he accepted upon himself. I think that's pshat, maybe, that he's going to pay if anything happens to the kachim. It's probably a combination of like my brain being mush, and also this stuff. Just like, it's not easy stuff. It's probably a combination of the two. It's just, but I think my brain is just kind of mushy. I have another daf I need to record today, but the next daf to record is a very pleasant daf. Yeah, so I guess that's going to be the test. On tomorrow's daf, if I complain that my brain is mushy, then if on tomorrow's daf I complain that my brain is mushy, then my brain might just be in a long-term state of mush. Reb Shimon Omer Kodshim Shechai B'Achar Yuson Yesh Loin Ona'ah V'Shenu Chai B'Achar Yuson Ein Loin Ona'ah. So Reb Shimon said, so Kodshim Shechai B'Achar Yuson. What's Kodshim Shechai B'Achar Yuson? For example, if you say, I'm going to bring a korban, and then you set aside a korban, and then somebody steals that korban. So you said you're going to bring a korban. So if that one got stolen, you have to bring a different one. And kodshim she'ein loim kodshim she'einu chai b'achar yuson would be, for example, if you say, I'm going to bring this animal as a korban, that's an idava. I'm going to bring this animal as a korban. Well, if it gets stolen, you can't bring it as a korban. You didn't, you weren't mischayev yourself to bring anything else. So you're not chayev b'achar yuson. So again, so Reb Shimon over says Reb Shimon kodshim shechai b'achar yuson. So kodshim that you are chai b'achrayis, yesh lein onos, and there is onos. So, for example, if you said, I'm going to bring an animal as a korban, and then it gets a mum and you sell it, so there would be onos there. But if it's kodshim she'einu chai b'achar yuson, then ein lein onos. There's no din onos. Tani Tana kame de Yitzchak bar Abba. Tana taught before Yitzchak bar Abba. Kodshim shechai b'achar yuson chayav. So kodshim shechai b'achar yuson, you would be chayav. Okay, this is talking about oshim gezelos. Oshim gezelos. This is talking about oshim gezelos. There's an oshim gezelos. Where am I? So going to Amar right. So Rashi says kodshim shabalim chai b'achar yuson going to Amar Hare Olai. So for example, if a person said that I'm going to bring a korban, and then after that, he says, okay, now this animal is going to be the korban, and then he sets aside an animal for his korban, and then he says, hey, can you wash this for me? And then the guy denies that he has it, and he swears that he doesn't have it, and then he admits it. So we're talking about so we're talking about what's it called? An oshim ilos. Shani koriboyin ba'Hashem v'kichesh. Okay, so he says that kodshim shechai b'achar yuson. So it would be considered b'Hashem v'kichesh, that you're that it's for Hashem. And therefore, the pasuk says, what does the pasuk say? Nevesh kisechta omal amal b'Hashem v'kichesh. So because it's chai b'achar yuson, we consider it like it's b'Hashem, and therefore you have to bring in oshim be'ilos. V'sheinu chai b'achar yuson, but kodshim she'einu chai b'achar yuson potter, he wouldn't have to bring in oshim be'ilos. She'ani korban ba'amito v'kichesh. Because I consider it to be ba'amito, for your friend v'kichesh. Okay, I kind of abstract. Okay, so basically a korban that, if you say I'm going to bring a korban, and then you separate an animal and you give it to your friend, he denies that he has it, he swears, so he has to bring a korban, because that would be b'Hashem v'kichesh. But if you just said that I'm going to bring this animal as a korban, so it's einu chai b'achar yuson, so for some reason we want to consider that to be ba'amito v'kichesh, with your friend. Okay, Omer leklapelaya, to which Rabbi Yitzchak bar Abba says, wait, this doesn't make sense. Ipcha mistaver, I would say that it's taka fakir. That kilu, when this is the only animal, this is be all end all, I'm going to bring this animal as a korban, so this animal is ba'Hashem, it's specifically for Hashem and no other. Whereas when he needs to if he's going to have to bring another one, right? Because if he says that I'm going to bring a korban, and then he sets aside an animal, and if something happens to this animal, so he has to bring a different one, so then there's ba'amito, v'kichesh, because you're like forcing your friend to now have to bring a different one. So therefore, Rabbi Yitzchak bar Abba says that actually the opposite would make sense. To say that, all right, there's so many people coming in and out, it's driving me insane. This was a bad idea there's always a lot going on over here. Who's here now? I don't know. So, oh no, who's here?
Yeah.
Oh, they're here. Alright, sorry, I'm recording for like another 5-10 minutes. Anyways, so actually the opposite makes sense, right? So I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But the opposite makes sense. If he's chayav b'achrayuson, so then it's ba'amito v'kichesh. If he's not chayav b'achrayuson, so then this animal is everything, and this animal is ba'ashem v'kichesh. Okay, so therefore Amar le Ismaye. So therefore this Tana offered to Rabbi Yitzchak bar Abba that, you know what? Okay, maybe I should just forget about this brisa. Maybe it isn't right. So Amar le, so Rabbi Yitzchak bar Abba says, lo, hochi kamer. This is how to make it right. Kochim shechayav b'achrayuson. So kochim that you're chayav b'achrayuson. So then there's the two aspects, right? There's ba'ashem v'kichesh, because it's obviously a korban, and it's also ba'amito v'kichesh, because he's then going to be responsible to bring a replacement. Okay, so because it's both ba'ashem v'kichesh and ba'amito v'kichesh, so therefore there will be an oshem gezelos. However, when it comes to kochim she'enu chayav b'achrayuson, so then he doesn't have to bring a replacement, so there's no ba'amito v'kichesh, there's only ba'ashem v'kichesh, so then there's no oshem gezelos. Okay, so where are we? So Amar le'achika Amar, no, this is how to make sense of it. Kochim shechayav b'achrayuson, when you're chayav b'achrayuson, chayav, so then you'd bring an oshem, not an oshem me'ilos, an oshem gzelos. The israbu mi ba'ashem v'kichesh, because it's not only ba'amito v'kichesh, but it's also ba'ashem v'kichesh. V'she'enu chayav ba'achrayuson potter de'imit mi ba'amito v'kichesh. But if you're not chayav ba'achrayuson, right? If you're not chayav ba'achrayus, so then it's only for Hashem, right? It's nothing to do with your friend. So then, because it's not ba'amito v'kichesh, so it's excluded, and there will not be an Asham gezelos. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, af amocher sefer Torah, my golus uveima in lo emonos, says Rabbi Yehuda, that also if somebody sells a sefer Torah, or a pearl, or an animal, there's no din ono. Tanya, we're learning a brisa. Rabbi Yehuda says, Rabbi Yehuda, af amocher sefer Torah ein lo ono, that somebody who sells a sefer Torah, there's no din ono, the pisha ein kates the damel, because there's no end to its value, right? Meaning something that has a concrete value, so then you can, if you charge a sixth more, so then it's a problem. But a sefer Torah, who's gonna put an objective amount? Behemor margolis, and also when it comes to an animal or a pearl, in lo emono, there's no no. Adam wrote to the zavgon. If you have a stark animal, so you can't, and you want to get another animal to plow with, so you can't have one strong animal and one weak animal. That would be a problem. So you're specifically looking for a strong animal, and you'd be willing to pay extra for that stronger animal. Additionally, if you have a pearl, and now you want to find a matching pearl of the same quality, so again, you'd be willing to pay more for it, and that's why there's no ono. For Rabbi Yehuda hani chshive, where am I? They said to Rabbi Yehuda, "V'alo hakol adam rotze lezavgon," but don't people want, like a pair for everything? For Rabbi Yehuda hani chshive le, v'ani lo chshive le. No, specifically in these cases, when you have a strong animal or some jewelry, right? These are things that specifically you want to find another one like it for a match. But other things, I guess, you care not as much about. Vad kama, and to what is there no limit to how much it would be acceptable to charge? Amr amemer ad kedei demeim, up to, I think, if I understand correctly, up to double the price. Tanya Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira, Mrs. Rabbi ben Beseira, afamocher sus v'sai v'chatitum b'melchama. Also, if you sell a horse or a sword or a shield in a war, in lo emono, there's no din ono mipnei sheish boed chaye nefesh, because in war, that's like stuff that people are willing to. There's a lot of value for these items, and people are willing to pay a lot for them. Peace out.